Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mohammed Jahanzaib, and I am scientific officer at Oilseeds research program, and I am also crop in charge of groundnut crop. My institute is Crop Sciences Institute at National Agriculture Research Center, Islamabad. So I have a background of agriculture, which is a different sector, and maybe you all are from IT or computer sciences. So some of the things we will discuss are maybe from my sector are for me that is very easy, and for you it may be difficult, and vice versa. There are some technological or IT devices which are very familiar to you, but there is new technology for us in agriculture. And in advance, I will say sorry, because if there is some repetition. I have three parts of my presentation. The first part is about the oilseed type, what is oilseed is. And the second part is what are the technologies that are used, that frequently using by the world all over the world. And the third one is the part that what we are using in our Crop Sciences Institute or research programs. And in third part, I would appreciate any idea or any help that you guys can assist us in agriculture. So first of all, the topic of my presentation is improving oilseed crops for climate resilience through innovative approaches. These are the contents. First of all, I will discuss the introduction. The second one is the phases in the agriculture sector. The third one is the oilseeds. And the fourth content is current scenario of oilseed crops. And next is innovative approaches are available in ensuring resilience to climate change effect on oilseed crops. And the last part is what we are doing at oilseed crops at NARC. So agriculture is a major sector which is vital for the survival of modern man. Plants are the producers in the food chain, and without them, the life cycle would just not be possible. Agriculture is a wide field which requires the support of disciplines from other sectors for it to fully thrive. Such discipline includes economics, management, and the third one is technology, that we will focus on technology today. These are the main phases in the agriculture sector. There are main three phases here. The first one is pre-cultivation. The second one is crop cultivation and harvesting. And the third one is post-harvest. The pre-cultivation includes crop selection, that what crop you need to sow, or after that, the land selection, that what type of land you need for that crop. And the third one is calendar definition, that you know when the crop will be sown and which time will be the land will be follow remains fallow. And the third one is access to credit. The crop cultivation includes land preparation, after that the sowing process, and then the third one is input management, the fourth one is water management, and then the fertilization part, and then at last the pest management. Once the crop is harvested, then the portion of post-harvest will begin. The first part in post-harvesting is the marketing of your crop that you have grown. The second one is the transportation from farm to market. The third one is packaging, and the fourth one is food processing if you need to process that food. So we will discuss what is oilseeds. Oilseeds are the seeds grown primarily for the production of oils. Edible oils are a constituent of our diet and an important source of fatty acid. What will fatty acid do? Fatty acid help the body absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E. Minimum total fat intake for adults set at 15% to ensure adequate total energy, essential fatty acids, and fatty acid fat-soluble vitamins. In Pakistan, the main crops used to make edible oil includes rapeseed, mustard, and canola, the sunflower, sesame, the soybeans, and groundnut and cottonseed. This is the fatty acid composition that this is for that we should know that which edible oil is fit for our human consumption and which oil quality is good or bad. So the fatty acids is of two classes. One is saturated fatty acids and the other is unsaturated fatty acids. So if you assess which oil is better for your consumption, then you look at saturated fatty acids. The amount of saturated fatty acid must be low in a good quality oil, and the unsaturated fatty acid must be in higher number. As you can say, in olive, there is only 11% saturated fatty acids. In canola, it's 5%. In sunflower, it's 12%. And you can see at the bottom of the table, that is palm oil. Unfortunately, Pakistan importing a lot of palm oil from Malaysia and Indonesia, which is not very good for human consumption. It has 45% of saturated fatty acids. So it is recommended to mix this palm oil with olive or canola oil to make it fit for the consumption. This is the global scenario of oilseed crops. Globally in 2021-22, oilseed production is up slightly to 602 million metric tons. And the graph shows the share of different oilseed crops in the world. The blue one is representing brassica, the red one representing the sunflower, and the green one is representing cottonseed, while the purple one is for palm kernel. So we come to the Pakistan scenario of oilseed crops. Growing demand and supply gap through imports since 1970. Domestic production only contributes 13 to 15%, and the rest of the 85 to 87% will import. Per capita consumption is also increasing alarmingly. It's 5.31 kg in 1973 to 74. Now it's 20 kg in 2018, and it's likely to go up 22 kg in 2028. And the import bill is now turning over 4 billion in 2021, which is showing the balance of trade and balance of payments. This is the graph showing the share of different crops, oilseed crops. The cottonseed is contributing 66%, rapeseed and mustard is contributing 20%, sunflower is 11%, and canola is 3%. These are some reasons of non-significant growth in oilseed in Pakistan. Low profitability due to plantation on rain-fed areas and marginal lands. Second one is use of suboptimal inputs. We do not know that in what amount a plant needs to give good yields. Then the third one is traditional sowing methods and harvesting problems. Then the fourth one is non-significant work on edible oil trees. The next one is lack of high-yielding varieties and hybrids. And the last one is losses due to biotic and abiotic stresses. There are some other reasons that includes increase in consumption and increase in population. As I have mentioned earlier, in 1973, it's just the consumption of per capita consumption is 5 kg, and now in 2008 it goes to 20 kg. So it's a huge increase in consumption. So we should consider this. No oilseed policy yet implemented in Pakistan. No campaign against overuse. Upgradation of extraction and processing business, increased share of local production. This is a graph showing that how much a crop is having the potential of a yield and how much we are attaining here in Pakistan and average yields. It's only 20 to 25% we are achieving what the potential have the varieties. Now, the next one is climate resilient innovative technologies and approaches. The first approach is genotypic amendments. This is slightly the plant breeding side or genetic side. It includes selection of climate resilient genotypes that we select those genotypes and those varieties which are performing very good under adverse conditions. If there is stress or drought, then those varieties needing low amount of water. We have to identify those to cope up with climate change. Then the next one is hybridization. It's again a plant breeding term. The hybridization means you select two parents. If one variety is giving higher yields, but it is susceptible to any kind of disease, what we do, we select the variety that having higher yields, and the other variety is there, which is not a very good yielder, but is a very, very good disease-resistant variety. What we do in our plant breeding, we cross them, one parent used as a female and the other one is used as a male. And we combine the characters, both of these, and we will get a hybrid one. And then we fix the characters and make a new variety, which now having the higher yields and disease resistance, both of them. The next one is gene editing. This is a biotechnology technique in which we edit the genes or genetic makeup by editing the genes. And the prime example in gene editing is CRISPR-Cas9 protein. And the next one is use of technology, information technology, that we will discuss today. So what is information technology? Information technology refers to the utilization of computers along with other telecommunication equipments for the storage, retrieval, transmission, and manipulation of data to improve the efficiency of different sectors. Among those different sectors, one of the sector that is using information technology is agriculture. So how does IT play a role in agriculture sector? Many people wonder how information technology and agriculture are related, as the agriculture is a many centuries old sector, while the information technology is few decades back. But let me tell you, information technology has a huge role to play in agriculture in coming days. Some of the roles of information technology in the agriculture sector includes improved productivity, community involvement, improved decision-making by the farmers, weather forecasting, and climate smart farming. The next one is remote sensing and GPS locations. The use of information technology in agriculture is known as precision agriculture. This is the definition of precision agriculture. Precision agriculture is an approach to farm management that uses information technology to ensure that crops and soil receive exactly what they need for optimum health and productivity. The goal of precision agriculture is to ensure profitability, sustainability, and protection of the environment. So why we need precision agriculture? Growers are facing increased input costs. As the inflation is a global problem now, we purchase our fertilizer, nitrogenous fertilizer, which is DAP, is of 4,500 rupees per 50 kg bag back in 2019. But now it's exceeding more than 12,000 rupees. So it's almost 150% increase in agriculture fertilizer. And the fuel is also at that time in 2019, it was of 100 or 120 rupees, and now it's up to 250 rupees per liter. So increased cost. When you know what amount of nitrogen or what amount of fertilizer you need, you just want to apply that amount of nitrogenous fertilizer. So for that, you have an idea that in what amount a plant is needing the fertilizer. And labor is becoming harder to find. So precision agriculture allows the farmers to reduce the labor needs. It is environment friendly, putting inputs precisely where they are needed. No extra amount of fertilizer. The extra amount of fertilizer generates farm-specific data to increase the profits. Now, its application of precision agriculture ensures the following. The first one is soil and field analysis. Such field planning, they can be used to mount sensors that measure soil moisture contents, topographical conditions, soil erosion, soil nutrients, and soil fertility. The next one, precision agriculture ensures crop monitoring. Crop surveillance refers to the monitoring of a crop from seed to harvesting. This includes applying the fertilizer at the appropriate time, checking the impact of weather conditions, and inspecting for insects, diseases, and disease infestation. The next application of precision agriculture that ensures irrigation monitoring. Drones with hyperspectral, thermal, or multispectral sensors detect areas that are too dry or require the farmer's attention. Drone surveys help to improve water efficiency and disclose the potential pooling leaks in irrigation by providing irrigation monitoring. So, some uses of information technology in the field of agriculture. So, AI technology, this is the technology that are using worldwide. Crop monitoring and forecasting application is called, one of the applications called as TrapView. TrapView is an automated pest monitoring and forecasting system that provides farmers with near real data about the conditions of the crop by forecasting potential pest outbreaks. AI technology serves as digital employees to help protect the survival rate of crops. Farmers who use TrapView experience lower production costs, higher yields, better risk management, and operate under much more sustainable ecosystem, making their crop more resilient to climate change. And this is digital drone innovation technology. Drones, also known as unmanned aerial vehicles, are small aerial platforms weighing up to 20 kg. It can be operated in two ways. One is directly, in which a human has complete control of the vehicle by wireless remote, and autonomously in which the vehicle is able to control itself and follow a route based on the data from GPS or other sensors. It flies at a high altitude and carry various navigation systems or recording devices such as cameras, infrared cameras, and other sensors. Due to their ability to deploy various sensors and capture high resolution and low cost images of crop conditions. Then there is the satellite-based monitoring, the software named as WordCover. Agriculture is a highly vulnerable industry, vulnerable to extreme weather conditions, continuously exacerbated by our changing climates. So the next one is GPS used in agriculture. So GPS is used in agriculture for yield monitoring, variable rates of application, fertilizer, plant growth regulators, defoliants, sensor technology, remote sensing, guidance, and boom control. This is a tractor mounted different type of sensors. Now, we will discuss the agricultural sensors. A number of sensing technologies are used in precision agriculture, providing data that helps farmers monitor and optimize crop, as well as adapt to changing environmental factors. So these are the sensors that are using in agriculture. The first one is location sensor. The second one is optical sensors. The third one is electrochemical sensors. The fourth one is mechanical sensors. And the last one is airflow sensors, and there is dielectric soil moisture sensors. So first of all, the location sensors use signal from GPS satellite to determine latitude, longitude, and altitude to within feet. 3 satellites minimum are required to triangle a position. Precise positioning is the cornerstone of precision agriculture. GPS integrated circuits like NJR, TE1 are good example of location sensors. The next one is optical sensors. Use light to measure the soil properties. The sensor measures different frequencies of light reflectance in near infrared, mid infrared, and polarized light spectrum. Sensors can be placed on vehicles or aerial platforms such as drones or even satellites. Soil reflectance and plant color data are just two variables from optical sensors that can be aggregated and processed. Optical sensors have been developed to determine clay organic matter and moisture content of the soil. The next one is electrochemical sensors. These provide key information required in precision agriculture, that is the pH and soil nutrient levels. Sensors electrodes work by detecting the specific points in the soil. Currently, sensors mounted to specially designed sleds help gather, process, and map soil chemical data. The next one is mechanical sensors. Mechanical sensors measure soil compaction or mechanical resistance. The sensor used as a probe that penetrates the soil and records resistivity, force through use of load cells or strain gauges. A similar form of this technology is used on large tractors to predict pulling requirements for ground engaging equipment. Tensiometer like Honeywell FSG 15N1A detect the force used by the root in water absorption and are very useful for irrigation interventions. Then dielectric soil moisture, which is very important, that if you want to start sowing, you should know that what is the condition of the soil and in what amount the moisture is available, as the moisture is the main constituent for the seed to grow. Assess the moisture levels by measuring the dielectric constant, an electrical property that changes depending on the amount of moisture present in the soil. Then there is airflow sensors, measure soil air permeability. Measurements can be made at singular location or dynamically while in motion. The desired output in the pressure required to push a predetermined amount of air into the ground at a prescribed depth. The agriculture weather station, these stations have a combination of different kind of sensors, which give us the information such as temperature, soil temperature, various depth rainfalls, leaf wetness, chlorophyll, wind speed, dew point temperature, wind direction, and relative humidity, which is very useful in crop if you want to make a decision about your crop. So the sensor outputs applied. Sensing technologies provide actionable data to be processed and implemented as need to be optimized crop yield while minimizing environmental effects. Here are a few of the ways that precision agriculture likes to advantage of this data. Yield monitoring is one of the outcomes. Then yield mapping, variable rate fertilizers, the topographical and boundaries. You can assess the boundaries and topographical condition of your soil. And then the weed mapping. And the next one is salinity mapping. The guidance system is also provided by these sensors. So this is a yield map. You can see the lush green area, it represents the yield, maximum yields, while this yellow one is moderate yield and the red one showing the lowest yield in the field. This is the variable rate application maps. On the right side, nitrogen prescription map based on multiple years of data. It gives us the information about the land, that which part of the land need what type on and what kind of fertilizer in what amount. So you will give the soil that only that amount of nitrogen instead of putting lots of nitrogen. Then there are smartphone applications. Many smartphone applications have begun to incorporate Internet of Things, ideal data aggregation and speedy processing to bring up to date actionable information to small farmers regarding seeding, weeding, fertilizer, and watering. These apps, disease detection and diagnosis. Photos taken of suspect plants can be forwarded to experts for analysis. The next one is fertilizer calculator. Soil sensors and leaf color can determine what nutrients are needed. Then the next one is soil study. Capturing soil image as well as pH and chemical data from sensors allows farmers to monitor and adjust to changing soil conditions. Next one is water study. Determining the leaf area index from photos and brightness logging can help farmers determine the water needs. The next one is crop harvesting readiness. Camera photos with UV and while lights accurately predicts ripeness, that either this crop is ready for harvesting or not. So what are the global implications? In the developing world, roughly 500 million small farmers produce more than 80% of the world food consumed. United Nations projects worldwide demand for food will increase by 50% by 2050. Precision agriculture technologies for farms of all sizes will be in demand in coming years. Precision agriculture offers a number of other benefits, such as lowering fuel and energy consumption, thus reducing carbon dioxide emissions, reducing nitrous oxide released from soil by optimizing nitrogenous fertilizers use, reducing chemical use by pinpointing fertilizer and pest control needs, eliminating nutrient depletion through monitoring and managing soil health, controlling soil compaction by minimizing equipment traffic, and maximizing water use efficiency. So the last part of my presentation is what we are doing at National Agriculture Research Center. So from last year, we have started the drone imaging of with the multispectral cameras. Dr. Zahid is here, who is helping us in this regard. This is the experiment of my groundnut crop. It has almost 200 different kind of genotypes, or you can say varieties, from all over the world. What we do, we plant these in a manner that each of the plots is in symmetry, and with the help of UAV, we collected the data with 5 sensors, where I will show you the sensor of MetaSense that have RGB and infrared camera also. What we do, we collect those data, and then that includes almost 3,000 images in 12 to 15 minutes. We stitch those images, and then after that, we collect the data from those images regarding NGVI. And what we do the ground truthing also. We have the grain seeker. We take manually each of the plot data, and then we compare that data with our UAV data. And to recheck or the third layer of data, that is the manual data or morphological data we have collected in our fields. So this is the mosaic that this mosaic consisting of almost 3,200 photos with that hyperspectral cameras. These are the images that we have extracted. The first one is RGB, the next one is NDRE map, and the next one is NGVI map. This is the sensor that we used in our drone or UAV. This is the grain seeker. I have already told you that we use this grain seeker for ground truthing, that in what amount the difference will come if we take the data manually or with the UAV. Because with the manual reading with the grain seeker, if I am alone taking the data of 2 acres, it requires almost 2 to 3 days for me to collect all the plots data. But with the UAV, we just give a flight of 12 to 13 minutes, and we have collected all the data. And this is something that we are doing at National Agriculture Research Center. This is NGS and GWAS. The next generation sequencing we are doing, and then genome-wide association study. 197 different genotypes of groundnut from across the globe were used. DNA was isolated. The next generation sequencing was done from abroad, and then genome-wide association studies that are in progress. Comparative genomic studies of big data are in progress through bioinformatic tools using R and Linux. This is the genotypic map or GWAS map. You can see these are the 20 chromosomes of the data that I have shown you. Each of the 197 genotypes are used in this data. And this is the groundnut having 20 chromosomes. So these and this data showing all the chromosome and the SNPs, that is called single nucleotide polymorphism, that is shown in this data. The other one, new technique for us at least, that is image-based phenotyping of soybean root system architecture. So this is here I mentioned one of our experiment. We have 70 genotypes, and stage of observation of those roots are 30 days, and sample per genotypes are 3. The growth conditions are glasshouse at 25 degrees centigrade, and the image acquisition, we have scanned those images with Canon scanner, and the image format was JPEG, and the standard use, we have used the coin of 2 rupees, that is having the diameter of 22.6 for reference, and the machine learning software is SARIA, semi-automated root image analysis, and DIRT, digital imaging of root traits. These are cloud-based softwares, so we have done all the things and upload our root images to these softwares, and they have given us to data in Excel form. So this is the process involved in root imaging. The first of all, the first picture shows the seeding of 30 days. Then we do the root cleaning, and after that, the clean roots will be subjected to root scanning with ordinary scanner, and then image processing with SARIA and DIRT, and high throughput phenotyping, and the output data file is there. So traits observed by the DIRT: the stem diameter, project root area, root system width, number of root tips, number of adventitious roots, number of basal roots, and tap roots. The traits observed by the other software called SARIA: total root length in centimeters, total root volume in centimeters cube, number of branching points. So this is the image as in showing the basal root, the tap root, the projected root area, and the root system width. We have used this 2 rupees coin for the reference. So these are different genotypes with different root systems or root lengths. The root length is very, very important in genotype selection. As I have earlier discussed in my presentation, we were discussing about climate resilient genotypes. So if the climate is adverse, like there is no rain, or in rain-fed areas, if there is no rain, the crop needs need water in their amount. But if a crop having a deep root system or heavy root system, that will stay longer in drought. So the root is very, very important trait in having the selection of drought-tolerant varieties. So now I am coming to the conclusion. The precision agriculture has grown to match increasing worldwide demand for food using technology that make it simpler and cheaper to collect and apply data, adapt to changing environmental conditions, and use resources most efficiently. Although large farms have been the first to adopt these technologies, smaller farms are now able to benefit as well. Using tools built into smartphones, relevant applications, and smaller size machinery. What's more, the technologies are contributing to solutions that extend beyond farms, including pollution, global warming, and conservation. Future developments in precision agriculture will likely include increased autonomous farm vehicles use, as well as improved wireless data transmission and acquisition from smaller unmanned aerial and unmanned ground vehicles, UAVs and UGVs, respectively. In addition to monitoring crop and soil conditions, these smaller vehicles can also monitor the status of farm equipment, allowing farmers to improve machine servicing and maintenance. In general, processing improvements learned in the industrial manufacturing arena will continue to find their way into agriculture. Thanks. Suggestions are welcomed. And if you have any questions,
I have a question. It's not a question, but discussion maybe that you showed these different sensors for precision agriculture, maybe flow sensor and humidity sensor. But if you go to a local farmer and you offer these all sensors, but they don't have this technical information or how to use it. But let's say if you inform them about these sensors and these readings, are they really willing to use this sensor? And if they are, what exactly, which exact sensor is useful for them? Okay, they say, okay, maybe humidity is good for us, rest we don't need, and rest we can do it ourselves. Because the rest, the drone, and that is, of course, they cannot use it. That requires a lot of processing in the data. And later maybe, or they are, or you say, okay, we process the whole data, everything, and we get the information. So how is the process going?
Actually, the answer is we are working with the farmers, and the farmer is only interested in the benefits or the cash crop that it needs. Seeing is believing. If we do these things or any project regarding precision agriculture or any other project, you go to the farmer, he says that how much I have to pay and how much outcome I will get. If you can perform these all things in the form of progressive farmer, you can easily afford all these things. About technical things, yes, we do not know about the technical things, but I am talking about the farmer, progressive farmer. They are lending so many rupees in our agriculture sector that even I am from National Agriculture Research Center, but we do not have that kind of machinery that progressive farmers are having nowadays. We have the concept of farmer that this is a layman or 1 acre, 2 acre farmers. I am not talking about those farmers. I am talking about the large or progressive farmers. If you give them any new technology, they are more than willing if that is profitable, as far as I know. And Dr. Zahid can take part in this discussion also.
Actually, there are 75 small land holding farmers. So then there are 25% of the farmer they have a huge area. So if you are talking about the new technology adoption, the progressive farmer is ready, and he can save a lot of imports and other money fuel systems, many other things. But when you are talking about the small land holding farmers, they don't even hold the required fertilizer.
Exactly.
But there was a concept of you can say combined agriculture or something like this. But again, our system doesn't allow to apply many things. Like in rice area, the government many times try to spray in the whole area. But in a village, you have on 1 acre you have vegetables, on other you have a rice, because we don't have any sort of land adjustments and national land. In some countries like Mexico or in US, in a district, they separated the vegetable area and they have a wheat area. And in the wheat area, normally they are spraying with the air crops. So that is easy, that is very time saving. So in Pakistan, it's a scenario totally different. And with small land farmers, they don't afford many of the things. Otherwise, if you are installed any instrument, maybe sometime other will you can understand.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So why we are using, because we are evaluating different germ plants, so it's very useful for us, and then useful for the large farm. And yeah, and they are using. Okay. Even in the southern Punjab, so people are using UAV for rain, and then cost is very low for acre. So again, there are some other factors, but people are using, day by day. They are
So you're saying that progressive farmers are already using such technology and they're still keen to use more. Yeah?
Exactly.
So have you collected some maybe statistics as to comparison to their profit and efforts?
You can say cost of production. or something
Yes,
like-
something like this. So do you have any statistics that, okay, if it's really beneficial or which exact sensor is more beneficial than the others? Or what, which one is more interesting for them independently of their use, not in your involvement?
Actually, as you, actually, agriculture have a lot of demands,
Okay,
like engineering and that.
yeah,
So we actually are from breeding and genetics, we have breeder and genetics. Then there are some.
Engineering department also.
Engineering department. So they are separate, but actually we are using these sensors as a tool. And to help us in evaluating and in selection the best we should rightly that. So we didn't have any
Statistical data for that.
Multi, they have some data on sensor cost and their benefits, but at this moment. we don't have.
it would be nice. I mean, the
Yeah, yeah.
aim is to make them independent. Yeah. And then if you provide these statistics to them, show them, prove them, and maybe they are then somehow ready, or maybe some trial basis, something like that.
Actually, first of all, if you are looking about 70% of the problem, they are small note languages and they are uneducated. Mostly. If you are saying, I will take that and I will let you know when to apply fertilizer, when to apply irrigation, he will say, no, it doesn't matter. I will go
Yeah,
to my field and I will apply.
Yes,
I know.
experts also.
Yeah, yeah. So again, if you go to a aggressive farmer, you will say, then you will tell him you can save the money, you can save the fertilizer side, and you can increase the production, and it will be precise. So we will know that. We will know. Even some sort of the industry people, they contacted me that they want some crop classification around 2 or 3 districts to install their silos. They want to install the silos and the storage capacity according to the cropping pattern and the production and the the season. So what sort of storage they want to install? They want to have a data from satellite and so if you were talking about progressive farming, they, they can.
Here is the role of small the private companies also. We have imported. I am working on groundnut crop. In Butwa region, the groundnut crop, the harvesting of that crop is a big problem, and almost 30 to 40% yield losses is due to non-availability of mechanized harvesting of that groundnut. We have imported a digger inverter harvester from America, the KNC company, and the engineering department of ours modified site modifications in that, and we have demonstrated that in different formats. The local digger harvester costs only 2 to 3 lakhs, and that machine is of 35 lakhs, almost 35 to 40 lakhs. But there are farmers, they came and said that kindly give us this machine. We said that this is not for sale, this is just for demonstration, and the aim of bringing this machine here is just to demonstrate and to contact with the local vendors that they produce this machine. And the private companies, what they do, they can easily afford 30 to 40 lakh machine. And what they do, they practice that on contractual farming, that if you want to harvest 10 acres, that will harvest in 1 or 2 days. And if in just one season, they are more than getting what they have invested. Yeah. So the role of local companies are very important in this kind of technology. I have discussed all these technologies, but word is using. And the purpose of this presentation is to show you guys that how you can help us in this regard. Because we are doing conventional agriculture, and started to intervention or started new avenues in agriculture by putting some efforts, UAVs and Dr. Zahir and his team and Dr. Mazum, these guys are helping us in this regard. So we are going towards that. So we need help of you guys, the technology guys. So all suggestions are welcome that how can you guys help us in this regard?
When do you think the normal farmers will be gone? Because this is what is coming everywhere. We have it in Germany, it starts that a small farmer cannot go ahead away in the last, say, 1,000 years. So you what you mentioned, modern technology, which is expensive. In Germany, we have a system that you can grab this by bigger companies. But also you have to have the knowledge.
Exactly.
And also the standard farmers will not have the knowledge because it's very complicated.
Exactly.
Now in Europe, especially in Germany, another dimension is coming, law. So we have a lot of regulations. For example, you're spraying what is in the US is not allowed in Europe. Also spray nonsense, but not on plants. We can measure this. That really nothing goes when you like to spray. So you must have specific sprayers. But again, they are expensive. And you should also know these rules.
Exactly.
So more and more is coming. A normal farmer of today is so I expect that this starts also in Germany. We see small farmers which retire now, go out. There's no one who takes over some hectares, so it's nothing. And then the big farms go ahead. They're bigger and bigger because they have maybe in the future they are big enough to have the possibility to run it in the correct way. And I think also farming is what we will have in the same way as what we do in the car production. It will be at the end absolutely the same. And we cannot build a car production if you have good mechanic guys who go somewhere and take maybe a piece of metal and start it with a car. This is not what we are able to do. And this will come, I think, here also. So we have also the rethink what we do with the farmers and how this from the social point goes ahead.
Thank you.